How's it going, everybody? I thought this would be a pretty fun video idea. Got some movies for Christmas, so I figured I'd kind of do like a movie haul, but for Christmas. I'll start off with this one. I got the Criterion version of Don't Look Now. I actually own the 4K box set from Studio Canal, but I wanted to get the Criterion version as well. They both have different exclusive things. You know, this one has a poster that folds out, and it also has like essays on the back, kind of like most Criterion things do. The Studio Canal version has like some like postcards and a booklet and stuff like that with different essays. And this one's also 4K. Criterion's restorations are usually higher quality than most other companies, so like maybe this would look better, I don't know. But I'm really excited to have both editions. One of those people, I guess. I'll just go through all my Criterion stuff first. Got Carnival of Souls Criterion collection. Technically I own this in a DVD collection. It's like the 50 horror movie collection. It's basically all one of those things. It's like all public domain stuff that people just keep reselling. Have had it for a long time. Very poor quality. Glad to have this in Blu-ray. It's definitely not my favorite. It comes with like a cool poster. It also has essays on the back. I do like the film. I don't love it, but at the same time, it's got a lot of like significance in the horror movie genre. And also, I was really excited to for the special features and the essays and stuff like that, so I'm really glad to have that. It's a mad world. Really excited to have this in Criterion collection. Why is the cover coming out the bottom? On the inside, it's got the word "mad" being written all over, and it's got like a little booklet. I much prefer it when the Criterion comes with a booklet instead of having like a fold-out thing, and then you gotta hold this giant piece of paper to read everything. Yeah, so Don't Look Now is 4K, and then Carnival of Souls was just Blu-ray. This is just Blu-ray as well. I don't think they have a 4K version of either of these, but they're older movies, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this was 1963. I guess I probably should have talked about like what each movie's about. I'll talk about what It's a Mad World is about first, and then I'll backtrack. It's a Mad World is about, it's like this giant comedy movie that's like almost 3 hours long. And it sounds like, oh, comedy movie that's 3 hours long? I don't want it. Well, it's fucking amazing. And hilarious throughout the entire thing. It's basically like a bunch of strangers find out about like this possible treasure hunt thing. And they're all scrambling to try to get to it first. It is so funny. There's slapstick comedy. There's old-timey comedy. Like, definitely if you don't like older style comedy, you won't like this. But I love it. I thought it was hilarious. Such a huge cast of characters in it. It's just crazy that like a comedy movie like is just on this big of a scale. You know what I mean? It shouldn't work, but it does. It's awesome. All right, so Carnival of Souls is about this woman is like the sole survivor of this car crash. Afterwards, like she's trying to like deal with that guilt of being the only like survivor's guilt. She gets a job as a church organist, and she ends up like seeing like things that might be ghosts or something like that. It's like this psychological thriller, psychological horror, really. It's kind of got like a twist that's a little bit cliche nowadays, but back then it wasn't cliche. This was pretty much like one of the first ones, if not the first one. You know, it's just got a lot of atmosphere to it. When was this made? 1962. Even though more and more films were becoming color back at that point, this one was black and white. I know some people have an issue with black and white films. I actually like black and white films, especially like whenever like a modern movie comes out with a black and white cut of their film. I think it's really interesting. Like Logan did that, Mad Max did that. I know some others. And then you got like The Lighthouse, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. That was in black and white, just in general, paying homage to those older movies. But it's definitely like if you were into horror cinema at all, like this is a must watch. At some point, you don't have to love it, but most people do. Don't Look Now is a really fucking good film. 1973. It's adapted from a short story by Daphne du Maurier, who also did short stories like The Birds and novels like Rebecca, which both were turned into Alfred Hitchcock films. And I haven't read any of them, and I need to. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Somebody come over here and slap me. Just... But it's got Donald Sutherland, Julie Christie, playing as a married couple. They're in Venice while he's restoring a church there, because that's his job. They're dealing with the loss of one of their daughters had recently like drowned, and they meet these two weird like elderly sisters that one of them is blind, but she has, I think she calls it the sight or something like that. Basically, like, she's like a psychic, and potentially can see the future and stuff like that. And she gives like this warning to them, and then they end up like seeing weird shit in Venice. And it's beautiful. It's got beautiful cinematography. Nicholas Roeg, who directed it, was a cinematographer before he was a director. All of the scenes of Venice are beautiful. It really makes me want to just go to Venice. Like, obviously it's not going to look the same as it does back in 1973, but like, whenever I watch that movie, I'm just like, God, it's so beautiful. It's got like a really weird, not really twist, but like ending. Alright, next up I got Silence of the Lambs, Criterion Collection. I have the Kino Lorber 4K version of this film. A lot of people complain that 4K version sucks, and that the color is all weird and stuff like that. When I watched it, like, it seemed fine, but at the same time, like, couldn't remember how it's supposed to be, I guess, to really compare it. I figured it'd just be a good idea just to get the Criterion version, even though it's just Blu-ray, it's not 4K. Not only that, but it comes with a booklet with essays and stuff like that, just like Criterion does. And it has all the special features. And it's got a sick cover slip thing. And maybe one day I'll do like a comparison and see Master of Silence of the Lambs. It probably is. I mean, Criterion, even their Blu-rays are like fantastic, more so than most other Blu-rays. So I mean, really glad to have it in the Criterion collection in general. And then last for Criterion collection is the Phantom Carriage, which I haven't watched this yet, but it's something I've been wanting to watch for a long time, so I just wanted to be able to have a copy of it so I can watch it whenever I want. I'll just read kind of like the back here. So it's a 1921 movie. It's a silent film. It's a Swedish film. And it says, the last person to die on New Year's Eve before the clock strikes 12 is doomed to take the reins of Death's chariot and work tirelessly collecting fresh souls for the next year. So says the legend that drives the Phantom Carriage, directed by the father of Swedish cinema, Victor Sjöström, if that's how you pronounce it. The story, based on a novel by Nobel Prize winner Selma Lagerlöf, concerns an alcoholic, abusive ne'er-do-well who is shown the error of his ways, and the Pure of Heart Salvation Army sister who believes in his redemption. This extraordinarily rich and innovative silent classic, which inspired Ingmar Bergman to make movies, is a Dickensian, that's such a weird, a Charles Dickens-like ghost story, and a deeply moving morality tale, as well as a showcase for groundbreaking special effects. So it kind of sounds like a horror version of A Christmas Carol, but on New Year's Eve instead of Christmas. Got a really cool cover for the Criterion version. And like I said, even like a lot of other Criterion things, like, you know, it's got the essay booklet and the special features, so even if I end up not really loving the film itself, I definitely want it for a lot of those things, to learn more about its cultural significance. But I think I'm going to love it, so... Yeah, next thing I got the Arrow Video House Collection. And, because I've actually only ever watched the first one, but I want to be able to watch all the other ones, and I wanted to own the first one, so it's like, well, why not ask for the collection, especially for Christmas? And really happy about that. Arrow Video's kind of like Criterion Collection, except for like cult movies instead of important movies, I guess, because Criterion kind of goes more for like classic and innovative and popular movies, whereas Arrow goes for like the sleazy cult classics that have weird niche audiences. Really excited for this, and I love the Criterion, or the Arrow Video box sets. Arrow Video and Shout Factory, both. Or Scream Factory. Speaking of Shout Factory / Scream Factory, I also got Misery, because I did not own this film at all before, but I have seen it. I've read the novel, and I love both. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what House is about. House is basically a haunted house story. So the first one has a lot of comedy elements, but it also makes a lot of parallels to the Vietnam War and about PTSD. And it's weird how they are able to pull that off, pull out a ridiculous horror comedy that has great messages about like the treatment of Vietnam soldiers after Vietnam and PTSD and all that kind of stuff. Misery is based off the Stephen King novel where this writer gets into an accident and is kidnapped and nursed back to health by his #1 crazy fan, who finds out that he had ended her favorite series and demands him to write a new novel that undoes what he did to end the series so that he can continue. I mean, if you don't know, if you've never heard of Misery, like you live under a rock. Those are all the movies that I got for Christmas, and I'm very happy. A lot of them I've actually seen before. Like, that's actually really cool. I hope you guys had a happy holiday. And yeah, what are some of your favorite things that you got? Especially like if you got some good movies or books that you're really excited about, please let me know. That'd be awesome. I'd love to hear it.